Hey everyone, what's going on? So in today's video, I'm just going to talk about the Easy Flash Junior. Now this is one of the main competitors against the EverDrive. Now I'm not going to be comparing this to the EverDrive just yet. Just going to show you some basic features, the setup, all that kind of good stuff. That way everybody can see what to do, what your benefits are, and there are quite a lot of benefits to say the least. So real quick, big shout out to everybody who subscribed. Thank you very much. You guys are all awesome. If you haven't had the chance, please, if I earned it, hit a little, hit the subscribe button. That'd be cool too if you guys could do that for me. Thank you. All right, so let's just get into the video now. Hey, so we're on the computer now. Now, I just want to go over the Easy Flash Junior real quick. I'll show you some of the stuff I'm going to load on it and some places where you can find it. They all have different prices. It also depends on, your risk factor and if you want things to take a little longer to get to you, if you don't mind. That's all up to you. So, real quick, let's go over to the products. So, here we have the Easy Flash Junior. Now here, as you can see, this is pretty much how it is. This is the one I have. It looks just like this. Now, let's go over the features real quick. Right here, you can play Game Boy and Game Boy Color games, instant load of the game, real-time clock, which is important for Pokemon games, fast reset menu, that's pretty cool. Maximum game is 64 megabytes. That's a pretty good size. You'll have maximum save is 1 megabyte. LSDJ support. You have mappers. You have supports Game Boy Pocket, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance SP, even with the backlit mods, which is pretty funny because that wouldn't really affect it because you're playing off the motherboard. Interesting that they would say that. Now, system on chip level recovery mode, prevent upgrade dead, supports FAT32 4 to 32 gigabytes, and I'll be using an 8 gigabyte, which is more than enough, to be honest. Firmware and kernel both are upgradable. That's what we have. And replaceable battery design. Yes, that does make it easy. And maybe I will actually open it up. So I'll bring a screwdriver with me. That way I can show you, just simply pop it out. And I actually did do it not that long ago, since I've had this for about 2 years already. Now, real quick, let's go over to the downloads. Here's where you get the firmware updates. Now, this is what they'll let you know that they removed the 1.5e and firmware 5 release, and it's been released for a while. It's been removed for a while due to because many users did not read the below notice and bricked their card. So they ended up releasing it all together, which I heard is the one that works for the Pocket. I have had mine updated to 1.05 for a while now, way before I even got the Analogue Pocket, so it was interesting that that caused an issue. Now, let's see. Let's go real quick. Here it says, note, this is not the final release. If you're in desperate need of playing RTC games or users of a particular batch of Game Boy Color, please stay with firmware 4. It's not an issue if users do not have enough fast SD card. It will halt load time. So the issue was apparently with the SD card. You gotta be careful, because the better the SD card, the less your chances are of bricking it when you update it. So when I did it, I originally had a SanDisk SD card in it, so it's probably why I didn't have any issues with it. Luckily for me. Now, alright, now let's just show you where you can go and buy it. So Amazon right now, this is one of the cheaper prices that I saw. It was $62.99. You'll get it, what did that one say? You'll get it within, I guess, a week. Now, it also goes up to 66. Looks like it's free shipping with Prime. This will probably be sooner. So it all depends on how fast you want it, I guess, is pretty much what it boils down to. These have gone up in prices. I believe this was definitely cheaper, probably like in the 50s when I bought it. So it's definitely gotten a little more expensive. Now, here at AliExpress, so you can get it from China directly for $44 with free shipping. So, but that will take you, actually, that's pretty improved, 3 weeks to get to you. So, obviously, anything you buy from AliExpress, take it with a grain of salt. You know, buyer beware. Pretty much when you buy from AliExpress, might get lost. Who knows? But this is a good alternative if you're not impatient. You don't have to wait. Here's something for you to look at. And just a quick search on eBay. Now here you can find a little cheaper prices as well. You got one here for $54. That's not a bad price. This is for pretty much $50 here. This looks like to be the cheapest price. I'm guessing if you just take off the micro SD card, it'll be cheaper. But it looks like it's coming from China. So if you're in the US and you want it sooner, maybe right here, $54, shipping from the US. So here are your options. It looks like AliExpress is the cheapest, followed by eBay and then Amazon. Now I'm sure there are other websites that do sell it. Let's just real quick, let's see. Dealer for Junior, let's see. You have all types of places. You can also buy here. Let's see what this website's charging. $52. Okay. It's decent. Looks like they have theirs in a different cart though. Interesting. So you can customize the cartridge itself. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. But let's see. If you want to change the shell itself, that's not bad actually. That was one of my gripes I would say about it. I'm not too keen on the design. But this is pretty cool where you can just get it like this. I mean, maybe even ask them not to include the micro SD card. Sorry, the sticker. I wonder if they just sell the shells. Might be cool for another video. This website does have some pretty interesting stuff. Oh look, you could buy the Omega Definitive version. Yep, this is pretty standard price. It looks like that's one of their big things is to reshell it. Now let's see what else. Another dealer for the US. This is a good thing. You can check here if you're looking for other places. Let's try this one. Sorry, that was the one I just tried. Let's go here. $54. So the cheapest one I saw, I think, was $52. So maybe this is actually $52.95. This is actually the cheapest one. Now, but with shipping included, AliExpress might still be the best bet to go. All right, now what we're going to do is let's just look at the micro SD card properties. It's going to be a FAT32 right here. Let's open it up. I already have it upgraded to 1.05. So all I'm going to do is copy over this file here and then the ROMs. And I'll go over the ROMs when I show it to everybody. So let's just stop it here and let's transition over to the Pocket and some of the other hardware. All right, so we're back. Now, here is the Easy Flash Junior and here is the Analogue Pocket. To say the least, the Easy Flash Junior has worked the best for Game Boy Color flash cards compared to the EverDrive X7, which I have, and that has been a nightmare. And I will talk about another video. I'm sure I've done many videos about it before, but I'll get more in depth with the EverDrive at a later date. But for this video, we're going to talk about the Easy Flash. Now, this isn't without its issues as well. This still has some issues, and let's see if I can replicate some of these issues. That way, maybe other people can actually, you know, fix it. It's not like these are not fixable issues. So, let me just get my card out of here. Let's put Easy Flash in. Let's see if I can replicate the issue I sometimes have. Let's see what we got. How? Okay, of course, it issued okay. B. No, we don't need a backup save. All right, I didn't get to have any of the issues I usually have. Awesome. Maybe I just need to reformat my SD card. Sometimes it'll give me an error where it says the micro SD card was not initiated, and I'll have to take it out, take out the SD card, put everything back in, and it usually works. Let's see whether real quick if I can replicate that issue. Let's see. Usually happens whenever the analog was off too. So let's turn it back on. Let's see if I still have that issue. Maybe it's just the SD card. But I was using a good one too, so maybe it's time to move back to this SD card. Let's see. Now it works just fine. All right, so this is how it looks. Now, if you go into your settings, for the people who are using it with the Pocket, now you go to System, you want to make sure that this is set. Hardware to run, sorry. GBA hardware to auto detect. That way it detects this as a Game Boy Color. That's what you want if you want these games to play Game Boy Color games. If you don't do this, you'll have issues down the line, like not being able to play, I don't know, a Game Boy Color game like Pokemon Crystal. It'll tell you that you can't play it. So now let's get into it. Here we have the saver. This is where all the games get saved. Now let's just do a ROM. I have a couple of different ROMs here. I have homebrews, I have ROM hacks, I have Game Boy games. So we're gonna start with a homebrew. This is the Delos game. You can buy it. I bought it. It's a good game. Now I'm not gonna have any of my save data here. One of the other things I will also talk about is the Analogue Pocket save data. But real quick, just so everybody can do that as well. You have to, it's been a while since I checked it out. You gotta make sure the beta is checked on. It's gotta be white. When this is on, that means you can do the quick save and load. Now I recommend you memorize how to save and load, or else you can lose all your progress. That's happened to me before. It's happened to other people. So keep that in mind. Let's go do the homebrew game. See how it runs. As you can tell, it runs right off the bat. Not too bad. It's gonna be a new game. This game is always it's a good game, but it does give you creeps a little bit. They did a good job of it, I'll say that. Now, right away, there's a push button here. This is a quick menu. So here, this will quickly take you back to the main menu. Now, the EverDrive will actually bring up a menu where you can save, load, and bring you back to the main menu. Now, thanks to the Analog, that's not really a big advantage for the EverDrive because you can just save it by itself. Now, let me just show you the save. So here we are. So saving, you're gonna hit the Analog button and the up button to save. That's it, saved. Now this saves onto the micro SD card. Now to load it, it's the Analog button and down. There you go. Now this does override the data of the game itself as well. So keep that in mind. You make a mistake and you will lose your data. There's no restarting, hoping it's back. Now it will take you back to wherever it was before. Now, one of the other disadvantages of a flash card is there's no sleep. So you press this. Sleep mode is not supported by this cartridge. You have to just turn it off or just cancel. I guess it's a good way of turning it off quickly. If you don't want to hold it, you just hit this and that's it. You're off. So I guess you can do that. I've done that before. It actually is a little easier sometimes. So, all right, so we tried the homebrew. Homebrew, as you see, runs, sounds great. Now, let's go over to, this is a Game Boy Color game. Let's do a Game Boy game. This is Mega Man 5. Okay, so as you can tell, this is picking it up as a Game Boy game. Okay, black and white. Let's see if it does pick it up. Let's see what we got. Well, it picks it up, so it's a Game Boy game because of the auto detect, but you can always change it yourself too. So let's see if you wanted to change it yourself. Color palette. Actually, you can do that just by pressing these buttons too, I believe. This changes all. See, look, it thinks it's a Game Boy Color. Now let's see if I can systems, Game Boy, hardware, force GB. Now that won't do that until you restart. I'm not really gonna do that at the moment, so let's just put that back. Hardware, auto. There we go. So, I think you can change the color palette here. Now you can change the color palette there. You would have to force it to GB if you want to change the color palette, just FYI. But, you can tell, runs good. No issues. Okay, want to see if I can do some gameplay. All right, here we go. There we go. So as you can tell, no issues. This is the Game Boy game, so playing the Game Boy right now, no problems. Just unlike the Game Boy Advance ones, don't expect any type of emulators on these things. So this is pretty old tech. Okay, there you go. Remember, you just press right here, and there you go. Takes you right back to the menu. Okay, so now what we're gonna try is, let's do a Game Boy Color game. So now you have auto detect, it thinks it's a Game Boy Color, so you can tell it's back to color. No issues. Okay, let's just hurry up. Yep, there we go. Remember, let's do the save again. Save. And up, saves it. No issues. Okay, look, load it. Right back over here. Game of Color games work, look, sound good. This is a good alternative to the EverDrive, especially since it kind of has some issues. I have had issues with the X7. You're less likely to have issues with the X3 and the X5. People still have issues, so beware. But the EverDrive has been working pretty good for me, and this is what I primarily use these days because of that factor. So let's go back. I'm gonna try 2 more things real quick, and I'll show you how it works on some of the other original hardware. So let's do, this is a ROM hack, Pokemon Crystal Clear. So let's do this Pokemon ROM hack, and then we'll do a graphics ROM hack. Now, this is where this will come in handy. It has an RTC, so games like this will work perfectly, as well as Pokemon Prism. It's very important. This is a great ROM hack. I recommend anybody play it. Have a lot of fun. Choose anywhere you want. Customize your character. I've talked about this game many times before. Check any of my other prior videos and you'll see I've done a quick game run through for a little bit. So let's see, you can choose your character, skin color. That's pretty cool. Oh, there you go. Let's go OG, let's do red. Okay. And you can change skin color. There you go. See, you can change his actual clothes color. Oh, there you go. You can do more stuff too. Let's just do a quick run through then. Okay, save. Now this is the game where I lost my save data and there was really no way of getting it back, so keep that in mind. Do not override anything. It will make you pay for it. Okay, choose your bag, choose all types of stuff. It really is pretty useful. Now you get to choose different type of starters than you would have in Crystal. All different types. Voltorb. Pichu. There you go, why not? So there you go. Crystal Clear, great ROM hack. Anybody do it, it's a great idea. All right, let's go back. Last but not least, let's just show you the graphics ROM hack. I just wanted to show you multiple ROM hacks, just different scenarios where, I can't test every game. That would be a lot. Here's another ROM hack. This one has color. Look, looks beautiful, especially on the Analogue Pocket. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is, let's test this on some of the original hardware. Okay, now I'm gonna test it. Let's go backwards. I have a Game Boy Light, so we're gonna do the old one first, then we're gonna work our way up to newer hardware. Let's put the light on. Yeah, these were not the best to look at. Okay, there you go. Man, I need to change the contrast. There you go. Okay. Now, this one is more specific, but I think you can play Daedalus on this one. This is a Game Boy game. Let's try it out. Now, any of the Game Boy Color games, they're not going to work. Forget that. So, Crystal Clear, not going to work. The Legends of Zelda, not going to work. This one works. There you go. Now, if you're playing on original hardware, this is where you can start considering maybe something like the EverDrive as well. So that's where I'll do a comparison video and I'll talk more about those different benefits. But this is not a bad price for $44 on AliExpress. Let's put the sound on. This sounds very good. I don't know how old it is. So here you press it more up here. Good old Game Boy. Now let's just test out an actual Game Boy game. Now it's taking its sweet time loading. Stuff like this will happen. If that happens, just turn it off, turn it back on. That does happen occasionally when you press this back button. Usually nothing to worry about. There you go. Okay, let's just try real quick the Game Boy game, which is Mega Man. But I'll also show you what will happen if you try a Game Boy game. See, loads, no problem. Okay, real quick, Game Boy game. Let's just try that. That way you can get the it's not compatible error. Man, it says to happen a little bit more. Which I guess defeats the purpose of going back to the main menu. You keep getting that load error. Okay, let's go here. Let's just show you Crystal Clear and how it gives you an error. Okay, there we go. Yep, there you go. This game can only be played in GBC mode. So, otherwise you will not be able to do it. So, let's move on to an actual Game Boy Color. This is one of my original ones. I ended up putting a new screen on it because it desperately needed an upgrade. Now, the cool thing about this one is right here. You have boxy pixel aluminum buttons. Makes for a good little design. Okay, let's do. Now the screen is not as good as the Analogue Pocket, as you can see. Real quick, it will play all the other games. Let's do Legend of Zelda. We can show you a Game Boy Color game. It plays no problem. Works just fine here. Let's see if we give you the same issue. Okay, maybe it's just with the light, which is possible. So then you have the ROM hack. Granted, this is exactly how EverDrive was originally made to be played on the Game Boy. You also play the Game Boy Advance, which I'll show in a second. See, it starts up no problem. Okay. Now, one last thing I'll test it on. It's going to be the Boxy Pixel Unhinged. Okay. One of the main things I didn't like about the Boxy Pixel is how it came stuck on the bottom, but that's because it was a Game Boy Advance SP. Let's see. Ooh, it's getting red. That's not good. Let's see if I can make it to the end of the video. All right, so here we are. Now, this is how it looks. It's gonna look smaller because it thinks it's a it's a Game Boy Color game on a Game Boy Advance. That's how it was. Stretching it out doesn't look that great either. So let's just run. But it looks really good. The screen, the IPS screen is beautiful. Let me tell you. Here we go. And especially the buttons. This is a really good build if you're into modding your original Game Boy games. Game Boy consoles. It's Increase the volume. Makes it awkward though with the game sticking out on the bottom. That's the one thing I always got me about it. But this was fun to play, I'll tell you that much. Let's reset it. Okay, let's try a Game Boy game. Let's do the homebrew. Looks really good. This is probably the best way. If you don't have an Analogue Pocket, I definitely recommend doing this mod. It's a very good mod. It's not the easiest, but it's not the hardest. You just gotta know how to solder a little bit. No save data. See, this one has color now. I don't think the other one had color. Interesting. It's pretty cool. All right, everyone. Thank you for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe. Thank you everyone who's done it, and have a good one, and I'll see you later.